So what we have here is a new platen next to an old platen. And these platens, somebody had commented on a video, an old video of mine, about how do you remove a platen from a typewriter. In this case, now that I've pulled this out, this is the old platen, and you can see, if you get some light on here, the old pock marks from where the type bars hit. In this case, all I had to do was loosen up this one screw here, and the whole platen rod assembly slides out on this old Royal Signet. They're not all like that, but that's what a platen rod is. Anyway, now this is a new Ames recoat, one of those ones I got laying around. I was trying to compare up with something that might fit. These are all adding machine recovers as well, and I thought maybe if I had to, I could rob an end off of that. But this one was recovered in March of 1981, and it's going to go back to my logic of it's a lot newer than whatever year this typewriter is, 1934, so that's, whatever, 50 years newer. But in this case, now you'll see this has a hole in the end on this, but the teeth and the spool are the same size, diameter, so I'm not even going to change that part. You'll see that on the new platen on the right and the old platen on the left, the one on the left is platen material right up to the edge. So you could easily look at a platen and think, oh, that's not the same. But when you're getting into edge diameter, not diameter, but lengths, and you're trying to make something fit, you have to think about the inner core of the platen. Now, what I'm trying to show you here is that the inner core, the wood, here, the wood edge and the platen edge here are aligned. So what, let's get this better, so that the ends actually themselves are aligned too. These are the same platen in diameter, in length, yada yada, but they're just going to show differently. Here, on this end, we have, right there, we have a different length though, so this needs to go away. But when you get to the mentality of the thing, you're at the same point here. So all I have to do is switch this short end onto this long end, which is 3 screws away from happening, and I should be able to put that new platen in this typewriter. I think at this one I could, yeah, we'll just switch the end. It's probably a lot easier to do it that way. So let me get the right screwdriver here. Now, I'm just going to blab for a minute while I do this, but I know I sometimes film stuff that's maybe nobody else is want to desire to hear, and you know, it's a good way for me to vent sometimes, and I don't know, I guess people hear what they want to hear. So without going into any detail, I wrote a letter to the president recently on an electric typewriter of mine, a Smith Corona Cornet Electric 12. And the cool thing about that was that when you write a letter to, say, your mom, your neighbor, whoever, you type in a manner that's suitable or good enough, I guess, for normal recipients of letters. But when you write to somebody like let's say you're just sending one to say something about the economy, when you write to somebody like the president, you start to notice all the finickinesses of your typewriter that you never noticed before with other respondents, which was kind of interesting because I had that typewriter, here we go. So now that long neck end is out of there, and I'm just going to put the short one on. So now we got to remove the short one. It was interesting because it made it, yeah, and this end's been in this tube a lot longer than that other one that they popped in there. They probably took, when they record that other one, they did it in 1981, so they would have had that end out for some, probably putting new screws in or something. As a matter of fact, we may even use those new screws here. Yeah, so it turned out to be that, like, I don't know, I just learned something about that typewriter. Now see here, you got to make sure you got this screw either in all the way or out all the way to clear the outcoming platen screw here. You want to clear that, not get caught on it. Anyway, what it turned out to be in that case for me was that I thought I had knocked out all the problems of that typewriter, and I had typed on it letters before, and come to find out there was just one little thing that really jumped out at me writing that letter to the president. That was, you know, I believe in the power of one voice too, though, so one voice can change the world sometimes. Look at that now. Okay, so we're just going to put this guy in here. Line up the holes, of course, with the recipient holes that are drilled in the wood. There we go. I think I'll use the new screws. Yeah, I'll use the new screws from the other one. See how those fit. I'll just get one in first before I would suggest not tightening them all the way down till you get them in, so that in case you have to move that a little bit. That would just be common sense, I think. Get that in. I just bought somebody was selling a Royal Futura 800 parts machine, and I think when that one gets here, because I made a low ball offer, I think that'll be an easy fix. It's got some rust, but I've dealt with rustier things. Oh, man. Any way you can save $1 when you're doing these typewriters is good. Okay, and then we'll bring this platen rod screw back out. There we go. Don't have to come all the way out, just enough. Okay. There we have the new platen with a good length end on it. And this should, fingers crossed, right? This should all cooperate. You gotta watch for the come on. There we go. The recipient area at the other end, there's a little pivot, not pivot, but ratcheting, all the ratcheting assembly stuff. Alright, now here, we're going to get this platen rod started through. And there's a flat spot on the rod right here. So you want to make sure you got the flat spot, if you got a flat spot, lined up with the screw. You don't want to go in backwards and tighten down. You want to keep it kind of in correlation with things. And we got to get this rod to go out the other end. Finding the other ends line up is sometimes the whole trick of this thing. There we go. Okay. So if you kind of go screw for platen knob to screw to platen itself, you should be about lined up with a flat area for tightening down. So now, there we go. single space. 1, 2, double space. Because that's all this has, single or double. Okay. Okay, I like that so far. Let's free that. Let's see how we do with feeding paper. And we'll just use this. Tear the little sticker out. I don't want that getting in there. Somebody just showed I think it was Dwayne at Phoenix Typewriter showed a video, or somebody did, where there was a sticker stuck under a, oh no, it was somebody on the antique type, I can't remember. Okay, so this, but somebody had a sticker stuck in a paper pan on something. Okay, so paper release, it does not feed, good. Paper engage, we feed. Perfect, new platen. I got my little fingers. Let's see. Hey, check that out, huh? Nice, crisp, clean type versus this old pockmarked platen. It's probably still, it would still type, obviously. I mean, I've been typing on it, but it's always nice to have new, not beat up. And I think what I'll do also, being it's a new platen, I'll probably wipe it down with some of that rubber cleaner, rejuvenator, just because it's been, a brand new one. It might have some sediment. I don't think it's going to, but let's just take a little squirt and see what happens. Just clean it because it's brand new. I'll roll that and wipe it. Yeah, nothing's coming off to speak of. So there you go, people. All right. Have a wonderful holiday season. Take care.